So I've done a little bit of organizing to my folder of my victimization, and I think it looks a lot more prompt. So I'm going to make another video and I'm going to walk you through it. Just some notes as I was going through proceedings, a little draft of my story. This is a floppy disk with all of my medical records in it. This is a card from, actually I'm going to move this. This is a card from Floyd Hager, main office 559-636-5494, County of Tulare, criminal investigator. I have another video where I'm interviewing, where I'm being interviewed as to my case. This is the restraining order, case number 257942. False charge of abuse. I don't know how he managed to get that, but the follow-up to it, the basis for it, is completely illegitimate. Said before, this is Dr. Gary Johnson. Dr. Gary Johnson, who was my psychiatrist at Changing Echoes, who my lawyer got a hold of and gave me a shining review. Graduated after only 25 days of their program. Certainly not mentally ill, high, or have any other changes to my psyche that would require a 5150, 5151, 5152. Any of that. Just some more notes from Gary Johnson. I don't know what's quite up with Gary Johnson, because I don't remember there being Gary Johnson there. But here it is, Attorney Rachel Scoma, Changing Echoes, the entire packet. My time there. And man, is it thick. They just like, apparently, just like every conversation, every comment, has anything to do with anything is down there for a month. Entire month. But here it is. I put a little clip here because I think it's so cute. Well-arranged time is a good sign of a well-arranged mind, and that sits right next to my investigator and right next to the timeline of events that prove my complete innocence. This is the resume that my attorney had, where she documents my time away after being accused of being mentally ill. Long-standing dispute over court debt. She made notes of this. Angels Camp NAA Resort. Outstanding review. Graduated from program after 25 days. This is Dollar Tree where I worked at in between the second holding. Against my will, with no interview whatsoever. Didn't even see a judge. They just pretty much let me sit in there. Her notes to get a copy of the restraining order to investigate the 5151. Meeting to discuss my case. The bench warrant being recalled. Because my mail was being held from me against my will by my parents. And this is a written out story of my experience. Includes the dates of everything happening, and it's just it reads like a giant recitation of evidence. It's written on the back of one of my resumes. And then here is the confession that my mom did sign, and another witness that my mom did sign. Both are in my videos. This is some notes that I made. Dr. Jeffrey Shaler, a professor in the Department of Justice and Law at the American University, says there is no such thing as an involuntary hold. I can't be put in an involuntary hold because it would take too long for an involuntary hold to go through a public defender if you contest it. it would expire whatever hold that they already have on you, whatever like 24-hour, 72-hour interview, which apparently you need a thing to keep you for 3 days. I was kept for like 3 or 4, but you need to have paperwork for that, and which is ridiculous. And I looked more into the ethics of the practice of psychiatry, and it says involuntary hold, the actions taken in good faith. It says literally in paper, in good faith for treatment must have a basis. Treatment must have a basis. They did not have a basis. In fact, there was the opposite of a basis. It's not like they found me on the streets singing hymns to God, which is what another professor who has videos on YouTube over this, the ethics of psychiatry, what he says constitutes a person getting a 5151 or a 5150. And also I have the records there of me being held in the psychiatry, all the nurses and what their comments. And one of them is not to the point, is completely falsified, made out to look me bad, but no one has ever said that I was violent. Not a single incident of violence. They just simply said I was violent. They had this interviewer said I was violent. This is my paperwork that I got from the court. A ticket which I just made a video on about how I got rooked by this Jessica lady, deceived, got my money taken. I'm going to continue to look into that. Some numbers for my dad. I'm not really sure which one is his, but I have it. Some more of the screen paperwork. We Delta Healthcare District. I believe this was where the nurses said, no, this is just an authorization to access my records and to print them out for me. Some more notes that were made while I was interviewing my my lawyer, and this is the papers to join the military. The entire reason why I go through everything is to join the military. As every male member of my family has done since the middle fucking ages. And I can't wait to get mine in life. Before I die, make $1 million. Be a Hare Krishna. Alright, that's it. Thank you guys for looking at my folder. Contact me for subscribe, comment, and like for assistance in your own cases of victimization.